Thrown into the freezing night with nothing but a torn dress, she stumbled barefoot along the dark streets. Her wicked stepmother's words still rang in her ears. "You are nothing. You will never belong." Hungry, shivering, and close to collapse, she had no one left to call family. But when a black luxury car slowed beside her, she never imagined the man inside would change her life forever. The icy wind cut through her thin, torn dress like needles. Lena wrapped her arms around herself, trying to block the cold, but it was useless. Every step sent pain shooting through her bare feet. The streets were almost empty, just the distant sound of traffic and the occasional honk from somewhere far away. She had nowhere to go, no home, no family. Just hours earlier, her stepmother had thrown her out, dragging her by the arm, shoving her into the snow-covered street without even a coat. "You are nothing but a burden! Your father is gone! You are not my responsibility!" The heavy wooden door slammed shut in her face, and with it, every trace of warmth was gone. Lena had always known her stepmother despised her, but she had clung to the hope that at least she would have a roof over her head until she could finish school. Now even that was gone. She stumbled past a bakery. The warm light spilling from inside made her heart ache. She could smell fresh bread, but she had no money. The last coin in her pocket had been used the day before for a stale roll. Her stomach twisted painfully. She leaned against a lamppost, feeling the weight of exhaustion press her down. For a moment she thought about sitting on the cold pavement and never getting up again. But then, a sleek black luxury car turned the corner. It glided toward her, its headlights cutting through the fog. Slowly, it rolled to a stop beside her. The tinted window slid down, revealing a man in his early 40s. His dark overcoat looked expensive, his hair perfectly styled. But his eyes, sharp, intelligent, were fixed on her with something between concern and curiosity. "Miss, are you all right?" His voice was calm but commanding. Lena froze, unsure whether to answer or run. She had no idea that this single moment, in the freezing dark, on a forgotten street, would be the first step into a world she never believed she would see. Lena took a cautious step back from the car, her instincts screaming not to trust strangers, especially the ones who looked like they came from another world. "I am fine," she whispered, her voice barely carrying over the wind, but even she could hear the lie in it. The man's brow furrowed. "No, you are not." He glanced at her bare feet, the redness from the cold creeping up her skin. "Get in the car. I will take you somewhere safe." She shook her head quickly. "No, I cannot." "You will freeze to death out here, and I am not going to drive away knowing that." She hesitated. Memories of her father's warnings about the kindness of strangers battled with the desperation clawing at her insides. Her legs trembled from exhaustion. She could barely feel her toes. "Please," the man said more softly now, "just for tonight, nothing more." His tone was different from her stepmother's cold voice. It carried a strange warmth, like someone who actually cared whether she lived to see the morning. Finally, Lena nodded once, cautiously opening the door. The blast of warm air inside made her want to cry. She slid into the soft leather seat, holding her ragged dress close. The man reached into the back seat and pulled out a thick wool blanket, draping it over her shoulders without a word. "I am Alexander Hayes," he said after a moment. "What is your name?" "Lena," she murmured. He nodded slowly, as if committing it to memory. "Lena, I am taking you to my home. My staff will find you clothes, food, and a warm bed for the night." Her eyes widened. "Your home?" "Yes," he said simply, starting the car. "And tomorrow we will talk about what comes next." Lena stared out the window as the city lights blurred past. She had no idea who Alexander Hayes really was or why he was helping her, but she could not shake the feeling that this was not just a night of shelter. It was the beginning of something much bigger.
The black car slowed and turned into a long, winding driveway. Iron gates swung open, as if welcoming royalty. Lena pressed her face to the window. Beyond the mist stood a mansion so grand it seemed unreal. Tall columns, sweeping stone steps, golden lights spilling from dozens of windows. When the car stopped, a uniformed doorman hurried forward. He opened her door with a formal bow, but his eyes darted to her bare, reddened feet and lingered. Inside, Lena felt swallowed by beauty. Marble floors stretched endlessly beneath glittering chandeliers. Tall paintings in gilded frames watched her silently from the walls. She had never been in a place like this, not even in her dreams. A woman in a perfectly tailored navy dress approached. Her hair was pulled into a sleek bun, her posture straight as a ruler. She greeted Alexander warmly, but when her eyes landed on Lena, her expression shifted, polite but guarded. "This is Lena," Alexander said, his tone brooking no argument. "She will stay here for now. See that she has what she needs." "Yes, sir," the woman replied, though her lips pressed into a thin line. She led Lena to a guest room larger than any home she had ever known. A four-poster bed draped in white silk, heavy velvet curtains, a crackling fireplace painting the room in amber light. "Fresh clothes will be brought to you shortly," the woman said before leaving. Lena sat on the edge of the bed, clutching the soft blanket. She should have felt safe, but she could still feel the housekeeper's eyes on her, the way the staff looked at her as if she did not belong, gnawed at her chest. When the room was quiet, she wandered toward the window. Snow drifted gently under the glow of the driveway lamps. And then, Lena's breath caught. A taxi rolled to a stop at the bottom of the steps. The door opened. Her stepmother stepped out. Even from this distance, Lena could see the sharp, cruel smile curling her lips. Lena's heart pounded as she watched the taxi disappear into the night. Her stepmother climbed the steps like she owned the place, a crocodile smile plastered on her face. Moments later, the guest room door swung open. Alexander stood there. "Lena, please come downstairs. There is someone here who says she is family." Lena's stomach twisted. In the grand foyer, her stepmother turned at the sound of footsteps. "Lena!" she exclaimed in syrupy sweetness. "Oh, my dear, I have been worried sick for you." Lena's hands curled into fists. "You threw me out," she said quietly. The stepmother laughed nervously. "Oh, child, you misunderstand. I was only trying to teach you responsibility. I did not mean to—" Alexander's voice cut through like steel. "Enough." She blinked at him. I beg your pardon? I have heard enough lies in my lifetime to recognize one within seconds. You put her on the streets. You left her with nothing, and you dare to walk into my home and play the loving guardian?" She faltered. "Well, she is my late husband's daughter. She belongs with me." Alexander stepped closer, his gaze unflinching. "She is safe now, and she will not be going anywhere with you." "You cannot—" "I can, and I will," Alexander said firmly. "I have the means to protect her, and I will make sure you never have the chance to harm her again." The first time, the woman's confidence cracked. She muttered something under her breath and turned sharply toward the door, leaving without another word. Silence filled the grand hall. Alexander turned to Lena. "You do not have to be afraid anymore." Tears welled in her eyes. "Why? Why are you helping me?" He smiled faintly. "Because someone once saved me when I was a lost child. Now it is my turn to do the same." Lena's chest tightened. For the first time in years, she felt something she thought she had lost forever. Hope.